Okay, now we're not quite so far ahead. Instead of having two pieces, we only have one. So we're going to look at a queen and then just a rook and watch how we can guaranteed checkmate them every time. It's a similar idea. We want to push their king to the edge of the board, and then once they have no squares to escape to, checkmate them. So we again want to think of the geometry here. We want to see that we can create a box like so that traps this king and reduces the amount of squares he has to move. And as soon as he has almost no squares to move to, then we can checkmate him. So of course in this position we cannot play queen f3 because our queen will just get taken and the game is a draw. We can, however, move here. It kind of a knight's move away. You see that here we take away the f file. And now this king here is forced to move. And he will try to stay as far away from the edge as he can, but no matter which way he moves, he's moving closer to one of the edges of the board here. And you can simply keep this up. He will try to stay as close to the center as possible, but as long as we keep moving a knight's move away, he'll have to keep moving closer and closer to an edge. Now the queen cannot checkmate on its own, and you run the risk of stalemating if you are not careful. The knight move makes sure that this king always has a square to move to. However, if you do that here, once the king is in the corner, this king is not under attack currently, but it also has no squares that it can move to. This queen takes them all away. So you would not want to play this move. Once the king is in the corner here, you want to keep your queen here because this king will just do this every single turn and you will never stalemate them. It's really upsetting when you have earned yourself such a massive lead like this and then it ends up in a tie because you just happen to stalemate them. So you want to take the amount of turns. Again, no piece can checkmate all on its own. You need your pieces to work together. But once you bring your king somewhere like this, now no matter where this king goes, you can just put the queen here and checkmate them. So you need to box the king and force it to the edge of the board. And then you need your king to pair with your piece and deliver checkmate. Now the rook is, again, similar, but your rook is more vulnerable than the queen. So you have to make sure this time that you bring your king over first, because the king can come here. So now you can't box him out quite as easily. So you'll bring your king over. Their king will try to avoid the edge of the board, but no matter where he goes, you are able to still force him to the edge. So we just keep tightening our box. And he doesn't want to go towards the edge, but he has to move away somehow. And now we tighten our box on him. And we just have to make sure that we constantly are bringing our king over to protect our rook. And now we tighten our box. And other than that, it's exactly the same. Now, once we say we get the king all the way to the edge of the board, here you want them, the opposition, I should explain, is very important in the endgame. When you have the opposition, it's when you move your king in front of the enemy king. But in this case, we want black to have the opposition, because when our kings are perfectly lined up with each other, these three squares are blocked. So all we need is our rook on the back rank, and they'll be checkmated. So we want their king, we want it to be their turn right now, and force them to move in front of our king. So in a position like this, we don't want the opposition. We do not want to move in front of their king. We want to do a waiting move, and then make them move. Now, as we move, if we move here, they could simply move back, but we would be able to move our rook all the way to the other side. And as we do this, we will bring our rook back. Now, if he moves towards us, he'll be checkmated immediately. So he's forced to keep walking, and we simply keep chasing him. Our rook this whole time blocks off this rank. So if he ever comes towards us like this, we'll immediately checkmate him. So he's never going to come toward us. He's going to keep running. But now we've pushed him to the edge of the board. He only has one option. He's going to walk back towards us and be checkmated.